So today we're starting volume, and we're going to start with volume of prisms. So first of all, volume, again, is a measure of space inside a 3D figure. So volume involves the use of length, width, and height or depth, which means we're using 3 dimensions. So when we make our label, it's going to be something like centimeters cubed. Now you do have a basic formula for volume. That is big B. Notice it's big B. That means it's the area of the base. And then you're using the height of the figure. The reason that this works is because if you think about any type of shape, if you're taking the area of that base, and think about if it was really, really small and you could just stack that base on top of each other, over and over and over and over again, all the way up this shape. Basically, that area can be multiplied by that height because that would be how many times you would be stacking that area up, and eventually it would fill up that whole figure. So we're going to take the area of the base and we're going to multiply it by the height to represent all that space inside. So our first example, we need to figure out this is a prism. And see how all these rectangles are the same around here? Those are what we're going to use as our lateral faces because they are all the same. There's only supposed to be 2 bases. So this particular shape, I'm using the 3x4 as my base, and that is a rectangle. So it's a rectangular prism. Which means when I find the area of the base, I'm going to do base times height. Notice this is little b, so it's just of this. So 3 times 4, and that's going to be 12. So the next step is to multiply the area of the base by the height. So volume equals big B times h. Big B was 12, and h is 6, which gives you 72. So our answer is 72 centimeters cubed. Please watch that cubed because, again, we are dealing with 3 dimensions, a length, a width, and, a length, a width, and a height. Let's try another one. All right, so what type of figure is this? Well, this particular one is a triangle. So this is a triangular prism. So to find the area of the base, I'm going to do base times height divided by 2. Okay, this is a triangle. Remember, heights and bases always make right angles. So I'm going to do 45 times 72, and that's going to be divided by 2. That is going to give me 1,620. And no, I didn't just do that in my head. I have it pre-worked out. So again, I'm going to do volume equals base times height. My big B was 1620. The height of that prism, not the height of the triangle, the height of the prism is 80. And so when I multiply those 2 values together, I get 129,600, and that is centimeters cubed. In our next example, we're looking at a company marketing a new brand of cereal and trying to decide which box will hold more cereal. So we're going to use these images to figure that out. So essentially, I'm going to need to find the volume of this and the volume of this. So volume equals big B times h. Now, instead of big B, I'm going to write in parentheses base times height so that I remember that this is area of the base. So on this, here's my base at 7.5 and 2.5. I found that out using that measurement over there. So 7.5 times 2.5. Now this represents, remember, the height of the prism, which is 12. So just to speed things up, I'm not actually going to multiply all that out on the board. I'm just going to tell you that it comes out to 225 inches cubed. So that's box A. Box B is, again, volume equals base times height. Remember, we should always write our formulas out. It's a little time consuming, but it's in your best interest. So I'm going to use 8 for my base, and then that length tells me that it's 2.5. So 8 times 2.5 times h, which is 11.5. So I've got those multiplying out to 230 inches cubed. So which one holds more? That would be box B. Two more examples. How many cubic feet means volume, of water will the fish tank hold? Well, I've got to do my area of my base, which is 24 times 12, and then my height of my prism. All of that is going to multiply out to 4,032 cubic feet. Now it asks how much if I'm only going to fill it 3/4 full. So I want 3/4 of this amount. Please remember that of means multiply. If you wanted 2 of something or 3 of something, you would multiply by 2 or 3 to figure that out. It's the same thing with the fraction. So when we do this math, please remember that you're multiplying the tops and multiplying the bottoms and then simplifying. On this particular example, you should get 3,024 cubic feet. Additionally, please remember that there are some times that you're going to be able to simplify. Like I can see that both of these are divisible by 2. That's going to make your calculations a little bit easier. So you definitely want to take care of that if necessary or if possible. Next one says a pentagonal prism. Pentagonal, what does that mean? That it has a pentagon for a base. Now, you don't know how to find the area of pentagons yet. You will not learn that until you get into geometry, late into geometry. But we still have a volume formula for any prism, and it's big B times H. Notice that it tells me the base area. So all I have to do is plug it in for big B. Pretty simple. Now it's saying the height of the prism is 18.7. All right, all I have to do is multiply here. So this is going to be 7,517.4 centimeters cubed. All right, so please complete the next few pages and your practice workbook, and we'll discuss tomorrow.